So they did probably write it almost $4 out of the money, but I wouldn't want to mess with Palantir right now with the way it's trending. I would want to go, $5, $10 out of the money. Hello, YouTube. How are you? My name is Mike. Thanks for joining me today in Health and Wealth. Today we're going to discuss PLTY, a new up and coming ETF over here with the Yieldmax community. You've asked for it, I've brought it, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about that and it's what it's done this week. If you want to know more, I'll post the beginning of the week's video from Monday. Now that was a really interesting video because it had the entire Palantir earnings call on it. So if you're a Palantir fan, you haven't seen the earnings call, I'll make sure I post that above. Actually, it's gonna go up here, and then I'm also gonna put it at the end of this video. So thanks for joining me. Like I said, we'll get into it right now. Is it a good week? Is it a bad week? We're not too sure here, but we'll take a look for sure at what it's done here. Now, I was doing a lot of research on this over the last half an hour here. It took me a while to kind of dive into it. And I think the people at Yieldmax are going to make me work for these videos because they have made a few trades throughout the week here that were undetected by me because I didn't really look at it. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen from Monday afternoon. And right here, they had a couple of options open. So they got their synthetic option down at the bottom here, $39 synthetic option. Then they had a call here of $43.50. So that was going to be the weekly call. And they also had a credit call spread of $47 up above there. So interesting to say the least. Actually, there's their credit call spread, $39. And then another one at $47 here. So that was Monday. I noticed here that yesterday they had a few trades. And I've highlighted one in red here for you. So this is them closing out of an option at $52, which we didn't see on Monday, which means that they must have made some moves here throughout the week and bought and sold some calls there for sure. So I want to show you something. So we're going to go to Palantir stock here on Google. And I've got it on a 5-day chart. So, on Monday, the stock was sitting at $41. So a $43 option looked good. I think I said in the video that's too close to the price. I know they're trying to yield max here, but I've seen that they've had to pay some money here to close their options because they yield maxed too close to the price of the underlying stock in an earnings week. In a stock that's gone up now more than 200% in the last year. They were $2 away from the $2 away from the strike price, right? So, or their strike price was $2 away from the current price of the stock at $41. Here they said 43. Well, come Monday night after the earnings, it shot way up because they had a great earnings, $46. So my guess is right here is when they closed that option and then they created a new one. And I'll just share it with you again here. A new one at $52. Okay, so let's go back to this again. Still Monday here. We're going along. Tuesday, there's $50. So that's probably when they did it for 52. And then whammo on Wednesday, $53. So it went past that again, right? And this is where the credit call spread should come into play to make you money. But I'll tell you, they're not making money on these weekly calls. This is like failed week. That looks like 2 fails in 1 week right there. But 3 out of 4 weeks they failed in the previous month. So far in week number 1 here, they failed twice this week alone. So let's hope those credit call spreads took care of that failure for you so that you can still make some money. You could see here $55, a little bit of a dip, 54. So yesterday was the 7th, and that's when they closed this out. This $52 call cost them $2.43 per. So a pretty good chunk of pennies there for you. So not that great, right? So right now the share price of Palantir is, trending upwards. It's $57.45, all-time high right here. You can see in the last 6 months up 166% or 246%. On Monday, when I did this video, it had been up 200% over the full year. So now it's up 246% after their earnings. So it's always kind of sketchy to write calls during an earnings week. And it's even more sketchy to make them only $2 away from the underlying stock when there's an earnings call. So that, not a good decision, obviously, right? History can show us that that's not a good decision. I want to take a look at what they're at right now. So we have two calls sitting down here, $59 and $60. This is for next Friday. And those were written today, $59 and $60. Now the synthetic option also got shifted here. It was $39. Now it's $50. So I have a feeling what they did is they closed out of their synthetic and created a new one for the same date here. That way they could pay you money. That's my guess. Just a guess though. And so like I said, 59 and 60 for a week. I mean, it is a week because Monday's a holiday. So Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, $2. I'm not sure if lessons were learned here. But if it was me with my money, I would be going out further than $2 away from the current price. If I look at today's price, I mean, it is up $2. So we don't know when they created this option. It could have been, in the pre-market or even last night. And so it's up to $1.59 so far today. So they did probably write it almost $4 out of the money, but I wouldn't want to mess with Palantir right now with the way it's trending. I would want to go, $5, $10 out of the money. So 10% would be $5. 10%, man. I think that's easy enough. You'd still make a ton of money. You wouldn't have to close out of your options early like they've had to do 2 times this week. And I think that's what I would do if it was my money. Writing options on this, I would have, let's pretend it said 55 right there. I would have written my option at $65 just so that it didn't get taken, right? Just so those strikes didn't get closed on me. In Yieldmax's case, they don't allow their positions to be taken because they don't actually have a position in it. They're doing synthetic options, so they actually have to close these things. And so, like you can see here highlighted in the red, it costs them money to do that. So Palantir, PLTY stock itself is also booming up today, 3.8%. I mean, if you're a PLTY holder, you got to be happy with the upward movement of the share price here. I think Palantir itself is definitely helping that. Yieldmax is not really helping that because it's not like they're making a ton of money for you because they're continually closing these options and it's costing them money. But if we take a look at PLTY Holdings itself, earlier this week it was at 6.1 million and now it's up to 8.6 million. So more and more people are joining this fund. But I mean, if it was me, I'm personally not in this fund. I don't think I'm going to be in this fund. I'm not super positive on how it's being run right now in its first 5 weeks of inception here. But I mean, if you were in this fund, you got to be happy about your share price. You're definitely happy about your dividend that you got. Where is it here? Right there, $2.20. You're happy about that. So as a person that's just sitting here in a chair, if you put your $50 in there, you got a $2.20 dividend. You're happy about that for sure. Your share price has gone up. You're happy about that for sure as well. But for the person that kind of dives a little deeper into this, how did they pay you the $2 if they failed 3 out of 4 weeks? Where did that money come from? So it definitely didn't come from earnings. It didn't come from income that they made. It came out of the share price. They've just gotten, in my opinion, lucky that Palantir has had such an upward swing. That's how the price has gone up. So be cautious where you put your money. Understand that there is major risk to putting your money in a fund like this, especially a new fund. and especially a fund that has failed for, well, let's say 3 out of 4 weeks for sure. This week right here, just because they closed the synthetic, that helped you, but they didn't do a good job of setting their strike prices for their weekly options. So this is now 4 out of 5 weeks where they have not been successful. I think what happened is we got lucky here because the synthetic option was at $39 originally. They were able to close that because of the share price of Palantir. And then that was, the saving grace right there. They now reopened a new strike price or a new synthetic option here. I'll scroll down and take a look at it at $50. Same date though, December the 20th. And I mean, that's looking pretty good right now too. Palantir can just keep going the way it's going, and then that synthetic will bail you out if the price keeps going up for sure. But I think that they can make you a lot more money if they were more strategic about how they positioned their strike price. What do you guys think about this? Also, I'm trying to make more videos on PLTY for you. My plan is to pay more attention to it throughout the week. I'm going to open up that Excel sheet every day just to see what the changes are. If you enjoy this content, my goal on these videos, because there's not a ton of people that are watching them, is to get to 50 likes. I'm going to do a 3-strike policy on this one. If I don't get 50 likes, I'm not going to continue these videos just because it's such a small pool of people that really want to see them. And I don't want to be negative about that. It's just, I don't want to waste my time if there's not enough people that want to see this content. So hit the like, gets more people watching, and then therefore we can get that message out there to the people who really want to see it. So my name is Mike. This channel's name is Health and Wealth. My goal here, I'm going to put it over here, is to get to 2,000 subscribers over the next month and a bit here by December 25th, 2024. If you can hit that subscribe button for me. I also offer memberships if you are looking for a way to help contribute to the channel even more. Stay tuned. I'm going to put this video up top here. This is going to be Monday's video plus the earnings call. And my name is Mike again. This is Health and Wealth. I hope you have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.